Hi, hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am sure most of you watching this video will have come across from my Instagram page where I recently posted this transformation photo. Now, it seems to have sparked a lot of interest into how I managed to increase my calories from 1,400 to 2,300, how I managed to change my body shape, and how I increased my metabolism. So in this video, I'm going to explain how I done that. So I thought I'd start by giving you some science, giving you some facts, and explaining what exactly metabolism is. So metabolism is all the chemical processes that happen within your body to basically keep you alive. So this is made up of 4 components. The first one being your BMR, which stands for your basal metabolic rate. And this is basically the amount of energy or calories your body burns just to keep yourself alive. And it completely depends on your age, your gender, your height, your weight, if you have more muscle tissue, if you have more fat tissue, things like that. The second one is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is basically all the energy or calories you burn in a day just moving around, so not including exercise. So it's things like fidgeting, using your hands when you're talking, when you're standing up, when you're walking around, you know, things like that, just general day-to-day movement. The third one is your EAT, which is exercise activity thermogenesis, and this is the amount of energy or calories that your body burns through exercise. And the fourth component is TEF, which is the thermic effect of food. So this is basically the energy or calories your body burns just to eat and digest food. So to increase your metabolism, you must increase those 4 factors. That is what's going to increase your metabolic rate. But in order to do it efficiently, you really need to provide your body with enough energy to do so. This usually means a calorie increase. So I want to talk a little bit about my fitness journey now and how I got to the point where I realized I needed to increase my calorie intake. So I had been eating around 1,400 calories for quite a while. To be honest, being in a deficit is all I really knew because my goal was always fat loss, and obviously a calorie deficit is the way to do that. And I just thought the bigger the deficit, the more fat I'm going to lose, the leaner I'm going to get, I'm going to look great, and you know, everything's going to be great. But I got to a point where I was at my leanest. I was focusing on mostly cardio. Obviously, I was consuming 1,400 calories. And yes, I was at the leanest I have ever been. But what came with that was hunger, tiredness, constant lack of energy. I even lost my period. And it just wasn't a very nice place to be. Even though I was at my leanest, I thought, oh, you know, I should be so happy. I lost over 2 stone, and I kind of hit this plateau where I just wasn't seeing any more progress, didn't exactly have much more fat to lose, but I wasn't happy with how my body looked, and I knew something had to change. And deep down I knew it's not realistic to live on 1,400 calories forever as well. Like, it's just ridiculous. So that is where I decided that I need to increase my calories. So first thing I done was increase my calorie intake from 1,400 to my maintenance of 1,750. And this automatically put myself in a prime position to increase my metabolic rate because I was finally providing my body with more energy to work more efficiently. So I slowly increased my calories, about 75 to 100 each week, until I reached the maintenance of 1,750, and then I sat there for a few weeks. And what I noticed straight away was I had so much more energy, which means that my NEAT, my non-exercise activity thermogenesis, increased. So I was a little bit more active, I was moving around more, and in return that boosts your metabolic rate. So the next thing I done was I started focusing more on resistance training and weightlifting rather than cardio in order to build some muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is much more of an active tissue than fatty tissue, so the more muscle mass you have, the higher your BMR will be, your basal metabolic rate, which means your metabolism will be higher. Then I started to increase my calories again, same as last time, by 75 to 100 each week, until I reached around 2,300, which is what I'm currently at the moment. And through doing this, obviously I have so much more energy, so I can put a lot more into my weightlifting, so I'm lifting a lot heavier. In return, I've built a lot more muscle mass. So I've increased my BMR, I've increased my TDEE because I'm moving more, I'm a lot more active just automatically, just because I have more energy to move around. And obviously the physical activity that I do now, I can put so much more into my workouts, so automatically through my workouts I'm burning much more energy. So overall this has increased my metabolism. Okay, so to summarize how I increase my metabolism. Increasing my calories, first of all, allowed me to have more energy to move around more, which increased my NEAT, my non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Then I put a lot more into my workouts and focused on resistance training, which meant I built some muscle mass, which increased my BMR. And then obviously the physical activity I do now, I have more energy to put into it, which means I burn a lot more calories doing that. So all those factors altogether have increased my metabolic rate. So I'm now maintaining at 2,300 calories, which is nearly 1,000 calories compared to what I was eating before. I'm full of energy, I feel happier, I feel healthier, I feel stronger, and it's the best thing I've ever done. And I'm so happy to come out of that rut of only consuming 1,400 calories. It's honestly the best thing I've ever done, and I do recommend, if you're in a position where it's time to up your calories, like, do not be afraid to do so and just go for it, because it will be the best thing you ever do, I promise you that. Okay, so before I end this video, over on Instagram I did ask if any of you had any questions regarding how to speed up your metabolism and how to increase your calories, etc. And I did get so many questions, I'm not going to be able to answer them all, but I have chosen a few of the most sort of like frequently asked ones. So I'm going to answer those and hopefully it helps you out. So this first question was probably the one that was asked most, and it was, were you worried about weight gain after being in a deficit for so long? And yes, I was. I think it's so scary when all you've ever known is a weight loss journey and all you've ever known is eating in a calorie deficit. So to increase your calories is a scary thing, because you think you're going to undo all the process. And it is a mental barrier that you just need to overcome. You just need to trust the process and, you know, realize that you can't be in a deficit forever, and that you're doing your body some good by coming out of that deficit and increasing your calories. Okay, so second question, when do you know it's time to increase your calories and by how much? So I think as soon as you hit that plateau, really, as soon as you come to a place where you're no longer seeing any progress, I think it's time to, you know, change something. And by how much completely depends on the person. It depends how active you are, your age, your height, your weight, your gender, everything. The best thing to do is go onto a calorie calculator. You can find these online, figure out your maintenance, and then go from there. So the third question is, what surprised you most about the process? And for me, it's little things like I no longer have an afternoon nap because I'm just full of energy all the time. I have regular periods, which before I used to go months without even having one. So yeah, it's all those little things that you don't really consider, really. Just, yeah, having so much more energy. Like, I cannot believe how much more energy I have. It's amazing. Okay, so next question is, what kind of food should I eat to increase my calories? Now, it is so tempting to think, oh, I've got extra calories, I'm just gonna have some chocolate, or I'm gonna have some ice cream, I'm gonna have some pizza. But I think it's so important to eat something of nutritional value, because when you're increasing your calories, you want to try and minimize fat gain and prioritize muscle gain. So if you eat as lean as possible, so add in extra protein, extra veggies, extra fruit. I have extra Greek yogurt, I have extra oats in the morning, so little things like that. Okay, final question before I wrap this up is how to ensure that you increase muscle rather than fat. So like I just spoke about, eat things of nutritional value, keep your protein high, and really focus on resistance training and weight training. Every time you are lifting weights, make sure that you are implying progressive overload. So increase your sets, your reps, your weight, improve your form each time you do so. This way you are going to increase muscle mass and keep fat gain to a minimum. But you must always remember, when you are in a calorie surplus, you will automatically gain a little bit of fat. I think that's important to remember, but I don't think it's something to worry about also. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. I really hope this video was informative and useful. I tried to get as much science in there as possible. So if you have any questions that I haven't answered, or if you need anything else explaining, please just drop me a DM on Instagram or leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. But honestly, if you are thinking about increasing your calories, please do, because it is the best thing I have ever done, and I'm just such a happier person now, and I just feel so good, and I just want everyone to feel good. And I know how crappy it is when you're stuck in a rut, stuck in that calorie deficit, and you don't know how to get out. So this really is a way to do it, and this is a way to increase your metabolism and to enjoy much more food. And who doesn't want to enjoy much more food? So if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe, because it means the world to me. And I shall see you very soon for another video. Mwah. Bye guys.